Welcome. My name is Rachel, and I am the Marketing and Communications Specialist here at the Temple Small Business Development Center. The Temple SBDC helps small businesses start, grow, and succeed. And we do this through our no-cost consulting and a variety of no-cost webinars and training programs like the one you are attending today. You're joining us for Facebook Basics for Small Businesses. I do want to give a caveat. This is very much an introductory course. If you are a little bit further along in your Facebook experience, we also have in the coming weeks a Facebook course that is called Savvy Techniques to Take Your Facebook Marketing to the Next Level. And that would be better if you are less of an entry level person on Facebook. We're going to be recording today's session, and a copy of that recording along with today's PowerPoint is going to be sent to all of our attendees within the next few days in a follow-up email. All attendees have been muted, but we encourage you to post any questions that you have in the Q&A. And now I'm going to turn the floor over to Jamie.
Thank you, Rachel. And again, just to reemphasize, if you are dabbling in Facebook, this may not be for you. We always try really hard to make sure that we value your time as entrepreneurs. And this particular workshop is one of our most basic. So I'll show you the agenda, and we will not be insulted if you decide, oh, you know what, I kind of know that already. This isn't for me. We have other offerings that can speak to a higher level of Facebook experience. And this is really for folks who maybe don't even have a page yet. Maybe you just set it up and are not sure what to do. That's what we're doing today. So it's really important that that we are using your time wisely with this hour 15 that we have for today. Like Rachel mentioned, we are the Temple Small Business Development Center. We have no-cost consulting and training programs to help small businesses in Philadelphia, Eastern Montgomery, and Lower Bucks County. And we are one of 1,000 SBDCs across the country that are helping small businesses start and grow. In particular, some of our no-cost consulting areas are on the screen here. I'm not going to go through them, but we can work with you one-on-one wherever you are with your business on whatever area you need to help grow. We also have a vast program of training programs and webinars, which you probably already know if you signed up for today. And this is me, a little background. I'll post my email in the chat if you have any particular questions, but you can talk to me about our training programs, and then we have other people who you can talk to on our team if you're looking for our Digital Connect program, which helps you with your web presence, or maybe you have questions that are more for our consulting team. We can point in that direction, but I will put my email in the chat a little bit later. And this is Rachel, who is my co-conspirator today, and she will be helping to do a live demo of a lot of what we're talking about, because we feel like that has been very helpful to show you exactly how to do these basic things as opposed to just talking about them and doing screenshots. So look forward to that. This will be action-packed in terms of that. Here is an agenda that I mentioned. So if you already know the answers to this might not be the right webinar for you, and that is a-okay. So we will talk about, we've done our introductions, we'll talk about why using Facebook and other social media marketing is so important. We'll talk about how to get started, how to create that account. We'll talk about the what, finding and managing your content. We'll talk about the when, which includes some helpful tools for scheduling your posts so that you don't get so bombarded, so overwhelmed with the idea of constantly having to share on social media. Doesn't have to be like that. There is an easier way, several easier ways, we promise. And then we'll have time for questions. So we may go over time, but we'll kind of get the bulk of it within the hour and then keep it open for your questions. All right, so social media, we know it's there. We know this is the world we live in. Every year that I give this presentation, it's just more and more the case that social media and having a presence there is our reality that we have to at least pretend to embrace, right? So let's just get down to basics with what the main social media platforms are, and we will explain them with donuts. So you have Instagram, where you will share a photo of your donuts. On Facebook, you may share that you like donuts. That's an interest of yours. On Twitter, you're eating hashtag a donut real time. LinkedIn, my skills include donut eating. Nutshell, right? Now here is basically a rhetorical question. Do you, your family, your friends, your customers use Facebook? We will get to the numbers in a few slides down, but the answer is most likely they do, because 2 billion people use Facebook for getting information, for mindless boredom. But either way, chances are your customers are on Facebook. Part of what we like our clients to do is to think about their target market when they're doing a marketing plan. Where are your target market customers? Where are they receiving information? And that will help narrow down where you use your time, your marketing time and your marketing dollars. But with Facebook, it is just so widespread that it is highly likely that your customers are on Facebook. Maybe Twitter, not as much. Maybe LinkedIn, if you're B2C, business to consumer, maybe it's not as much LinkedIn as a B2B business. Facebook, it's probably going to be a yes. So why do we need to be online? It may seem intimidating, it may seem like it takes up a lot of time, but it is just becoming more and more every year, just something that isn't necessary. Not only is it a way to communicate with your existing customers, remind them of who you are, potentially get new customers, but it's also become sort of a measure of competency. So your customers may have an expectation that you have an online presence, and not having an online presence might make someone say, hey, you know, is this a legit business? Are they just kind of like a hobby, doing this on the side, not taking it seriously? It really is becoming an expectation. And even just to get information, people might want to say, look to Facebook to get something quick, like your hours of operation, your email address, your website. Facebook might be the place that they look to get something really quickly. And if you don't have that, maybe you've lost a customer. So it is a standard of how people communicate with each other. It is free/low cost tool. It is a two-way conversation, and it's a way to appear professional. That's why we're doing this. That's why we kind of have to. So looking at the numbers, here are some of the leading social media platforms. We're focusing on Facebook today. We do have other basic webinars that we've given about other channels. We may have some in the future, but we also have a YouTube library with a repertoire that would have recordings of previous sessions. We've definitely done LinkedIn, we've done Instagram, we've done Twitter, maybe Pinterest, we've done Etsy as well. So please consider looking, and maybe Rachel can post in the chat our SBDC YouTube channel, but it has a lot. We used to do all of our events live in person. It was lovely, we miss it. But for several years now, we've been doing everything online, which means we are able to record many of them, not all, but many of them, and have a library of helpful videos to share. So let's see what we're looking at for Facebook demographics. 2.7 billion users, the average age demographic 25 to 34, but we're really seeing trends with older populations using Facebook quite extensively, much more than it was 5-10 years ago. And if we look at some more numbers, number 3, Facebook, it's a lot, right? And people are spending a lot of time on Facebook as well. So we have almost 3 billion users and almost 2 billion daily, every day users. It provides businesses with a big avenue to stay in touch and reach new customers. And sometimes we get the question, do I still need a website? Probably you do. It's not supposed to replace a website. It's really supposed to be a reminder, a way to have more evergreen information and to redirect people to your services, your products, and redirect them to your website, because that is usually what Google is looking at, right? We all want to be on the first page of Google, and we want our website to be on that first page of Google. So that comes with having a snazzy website, and boy, do we have a lot of services for that. We have done extensive webinars on this topic, on how to build a website, how to make your website, how to work on your website's SEO. And in fact, we do have a service, a newer service at the SBDC, where we can audit your SEO, which is just a huge service. And at the most basic level, because this is a basic webinar, you may say, why are you saying SEO to me? Why are you saying that? Search engine optimization. The general idea is making your website look pretty for Google. And there are certain ways that might be more simple than you realize, and little tweaks that can help you do that. Not everything is super, super complicated. Yes, you can get down the nitty gritty of SEO and do crazy things on the back end, but there are also just some simple things that you can do, or maybe a staff person can do, but we can help point them out what that might be. And it could be as simple as, oh, okay, your phone number is an image instead of actual numbers, so people can't copy and paste it, which makes it harder for the user. Little tricks like that. Same thing with email, right? We want to be able to copy and paste an email, or better yet, click a button that generates an automatic email when we're looking to connect with a business. That's SEO. That's not what we're talking about today, but goes back to the question, do I also need a website along with Facebook? Most likely you do. And you can always speak to our consultants on a one-on-one basis when you're making these marketing decisions, because it really does vary by industry. And if you have any questions at this point, you can put them in the Q&A. We can keep this interactive. I'm happy to stop and answer questions. Okay, so you may be thinking, I don't know where to start. Is that you? Have you, can we do maybe like, can we do the emoji things with the hand raise, or not in the meeting setting? Yeah. Or even post in the chat. Like when you think about, when you think about the world of Facebook, I would love to maybe just get some comments in the chat about just how you feel. Like, what's your emotion when you think about Facebook? Like, is it, I don't know where to start, or is it, I've started, but that's kind of all I've got? I would love to just like get a sense. Okay. We have somebody who is clueless, appreciate the honesty. Somebody who boosted an ad and got no leads. Okay, that's great. We can, everything not working correctly. Yeah, we will go, we will talk a bit, seems overwhelming. We'll talk a bit about ads and thinking about how to target them appropriately. Okay, thanks for commenting, I appreciate it. Someone else said, I don't know where to start. Okay, well, let us show you. So what we're going to do right now is I'm just going to talk over these main points, and then Rachel is actually, we're going to swap screens and she's going to share her screen. And what we're going to do is our first demo, like I mentioned, demo heavy. This is how to set up your account in a way that's most appropriate for a business account. Now, I do believe this is still the case that you have to have a personal account, Rachel, in order to make a business account. So, you know, I don't love that rule, I'll be honest, but it is what it is. You don't have to put your full name. You don't have to put any personal information on your personal account if that makes you uncomfortable. You don't have to have a single picture. You can put your dog's name, but you do have to have that personal account set up. I also recommend, before dabbling too hard in your business account, playing around with your personal account, because this will help you understand how people talk on Facebook, what people share, what people don't share. It is a little bit like its own language, and I highly recommend spending a little bit of time playing around and learning that language before you get into your business page. So step one, have a personal account, experiment, play around. You can first start off as an observer. If you have a personal account and you build up your friends on Facebook, which would be friends, family, things like that, that will also help you when you're ready to attract people to your Facebook business page. And this also relates to the more general concept is you want, if you're starting a new business or you have a new business, you really want to know that you have the support of your friends and family. Because if your friends and family think that your idea is kind of, that's not a good sign, right? So you want your friends and family to say like, yes, this is a great product or service. We believe in you, right? You want that generally. And then next step, you want them to put that into action just by simply liking your business page, right? And the way to cultivate that group of people is to have them linked to your personal account as friends, and later you can invite them to like your business page. So I think maybe, all right, I guess I'll go through the steps and then I'll have Rachel show you. So we're going to facebook.com/business, and they will prompt you to follow the steps, but we're going to show you the best ways to do it. There will be a cover photo, and there are certain specs for the cover photo, which is wider, and there's a main photo, which usually you're going to want to put your logo there. For your cover photo, you can get a little bit more creative. We recommend canva.com, which is an amazing free program that will make you feel like a graphic designer. And what is really useful for this purpose is that they have the dimensions already set. So you can say, oh, I'm creating a Facebook cover photo, and they will plop in the dimensions, and you can kind of play around with it, download it, and use that as your cover photo. Because this is something that Facebook users have come to subconsciously expect, that the cover photo is going to look the right way. If it's blurry, if the proportions are stretched out and weird, it makes you feel a certain way, whether you're aware of it or not. But our customers have gotten savvy with what they expect from a social media presence. So we want to make sure that you are all looking correct. All right, so once you have that set up, you're going to engage, which I think that was supposed to be engage, my bad. You're going to start engaging. You're going to invite these friends who you've connected with on your personal account to come join you on your business account, press like, and become a follower of your new Facebook business page. And then you can share it to your own personal page. So let me stop my sharing, and I will let Rachel share her screen, and then we can kind of take questions and we'll walk you through it.
All right, so you should all be able to see my screen now. This is my personal Facebook account. And like Jamie mentioned, the only way to create a business account is to have a personal account. So on your personal account, you'll see this area here called Pages. You're going to click on that, and then you're just going to create a new page. So you have to have a page name. So you're going to choose your business name. So I'm going to do Rachel's Raw Honey. And then you have to pick a category. You can start to type. So for me, it would be food. And I can start to see, oh, food stand, that's where I sell my raw honey. That's what I'm going to choose. But you can really pick any category for you. If you're doing consulting, if you're doing a retail location, if you're a completely online business, you can find your category there. And then you have to choose your description, and your description is going to just explain the basics of your business. It can talk about your mission, it can talk about what you're selling, and just to make sure that you have your information there. So I'm going to put that we're Rachel's Raw Honey. We're a local honey retailer in Philadelphia, and our honey is locally sourced. And these are the products we offer. And then you are going to hit Create Page. And we'll give it a couple minutes to load. And there you go. Now you have your business page. At this point, you can start to add the profile picture and cover photo like Jamie mentioned. So I am going to add a cover photo and a profile. And I created my profile picture and cover photo in Canva. So Here is my logo, Rachel Hazard's logo raw honey. And then a cover photo, which is technically optional, but we would never recommend that you not have a cover photo, just because it's engaging and you want the image there. And this was also made in Canva. And you can sort of reposition that. You can move it around. If you want the logo in there.
So how long did it take you to make that in Canva?
Oh my goodness, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And that's because I tried to make it a little bit from scratch. If you go into Canva, there are templates. So if you're not sure exactly what you want and you need inspiration, you can look at templates and just drag and drop and change pictures and make it look like your own. And it's so quick and so easy. So now we're going to have
photos
that.
of your business. That's are a great place. Like the best photos of your business. That's a great thing to use in your cover photo. And again, because it's so wide, you probably can't get away with one photo. It's going to be weird. So having a little collage like that looks really good.
And now we have those, and we are going to save and give that a few seconds. And then I'm going to ignore that because I do not need my page connected to WhatsApp, but if you wanted to, you could. And now once you're in here, you can edit the page as well. So if you want to add a button, most people do either making it easy to follow your page. That's an easy one. If you're trying to get people to call you, you can call, you can put your website. It's really up to you. And you can change this. So if you want to right now just choose follow, you can change that button at any time. You can create a username. So that's an easy way for people to find you. So let's see, Rachel's raw honey. And oh, I think that might already exist. Well, we'll see. You'll find yours. It can be challenging to find one that hasn't already been used, but once you have it, you can find it, and just make sure it's something that's similar to what your business is. And you're really ready to go. And now you have your Facebook business account and you're already set up, and you can get started promoting it, and you can get started posting. And it's really that simple to set it up. There are other things you can do, and it'll have this like setting up your page for success. So you can follow these to add different info. So adding your website, location, business hours, if you have them, your phone number. So make sure that you go through and add all of the information that's relevant.
Phone number, website, hours, address, really important. Yeah. You don't have to do every single step of this, but those are important ones.
And they'll stay here. You'll see them. You'll see like the steps to be completed. So you can go through and do the things that you need to complete. Because we're just doing a quick demo here, I'm not going to walk you through every single step here, but definitely you want to add your website if you have one, and your location and your business hours. And then because it's your personal account, like Jamie mentioned, you can invite your friends to like the page. So you can see a list of all your friends, and you can pick and choose who you want to invite, and then send them an invite, and then they can come and follow your page and like your page. These are real people, and this is a fake business, so I'm not going to invite them, but you would invite them. All right. And
somebody asked why the username was taken. And I mean, there are just so many business pages on Facebook, real ones, fake ones. At this point, I mean, Facebook has been around for decades now. So you might have to add some numbers. Maybe you want to add Rachel's Raw Honey 215, Rachel's Raw Honey Philly. That could be a way to, if something similar has been taken. Somebody said that they don't have the option to add that button. That could be something that we could work on with you on a one-on-one, just to navigate that specifically.
And
How many business pages can someone have? Ooh, a lot. I don't know what the math is.
There's actually no limit to how many business pages you have, but they have to be real. If I like left this here and like never filled it out, Facebook would eventually recognize that this is a fake page and would shut it down. So you can have as many business pages as you have businesses, but just keep in mind, one, you wouldn't want more than one Facebook business page for your business. So Rachel's Raw Honey doesn't want Rachel's Raw Honey Philly and Rachel's Raw Honey Fishtown. You want one that you can take care of. It's a little different if you have multiple locations, but it wouldn't make sense to do like neighborhood by neighborhood. And you wouldn't want just like 2 Facebook pages, because then you're just putting more work on yourself to curate content, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You want to make sure that you have one really solid business page that you are able to successfully promote and to create content for. So just keep in mind that the more pages you have, the more content you're going to have to create.
So the next thing that we're going to do, and we'll keep Rachel's screen shared, is we're going to show you how to post in kind of your home screen, because this may be the most comfortable way for you to post. But we are also going to get into the meta, and we'll show you how to post there as well. That if that is too intimidating, you can post in your home screen. This is your home screen, right? Earlier, when Rachel first opened up Facebook, she was in her feed, which is it is the location of where you would get information that other people post and share, right? But now this is our home screen, our personal page, and we are going to show you how to create a post and how to tag another business or person, which is a good way to draw additional attention to your post. We will also mention, you can see on her screen right now, you can create a post with a photo or a video. At this time, this didn't used to be the case, but you almost always want to have a photo or video. That is just how social media users are working these days. That's also how the algorithms work. They want something visual to connect to. So we're gonna pretend like we posted a photo, or actually maybe we can just post the cover photo just to show you how to do it. But right now we want to show you how to create a post from your home screen.
So you're on your home screen. This is your page. You're gonna hit create post. So now you can write, welcome, and maybe talk about your business a little bit. You know, we've got honey. And then you're going to add to your post. Like Jamie mentioned, if you really want your content to show up, Facebook has gotten more, the algorithm, I'm just going to be honest with you, it's gotten more and more challenging to break through the noise. There is, what, 2.9, I think Jamie said, billion people on Facebook. So there's a lot of noise that you want to break through. So the best way to do that is you definitely are going to want to add a photo or video. And these photos or videos, they can be really of anything, as long as it's related to your business. So you can have behind the scenes pictures of you creating your honey or whatever it is.
We'll talk about things to post in a little bit. But if you are out of photos, you can find a stock photo. Just make sure that it is free for you to use. That's one website that you can use. I just posted it in the chat.
And you can also use Canva, like we mentioned before, to create pictures. And all you have to do is go to Canva and click Facebook post, and they'll have templates for you. So I'm going to use the cover photo. And, well, you have to wait until the media is done uploading, and then you're good to go.
Let's do a tag, Rachel. Why don't we say thanks to she's going to show you how to go in and edit a post, which is actually useful to know as well. Why don't you say thanks to the Temple SBDC for helping me get my business started? That's what all of you are going to post for your first Facebook.
Oh, of course,
right?
Of course. So you have your post here. You can go back in and change it at any time by editing. This is something that is unique to Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. Not all social medias let you go back in, so be aware of that as you like make your way in your social media journey. So we've got the honey. Thanks. And then you're gonna use the @ symbol. And look at that, Temple SBDC. What are the chances? They're right there at the top.
So if that doesn't come up right away, you're just going to kind of type it up until it does pop up. Essentially, that is what should happen if it's an existing.
I can show you, like, this is my girlfriend. So I could say, thanks, Amanda, for your help. So you just start to type and it'll go through Facebook and it'll go through your friends and it'll find what you're looking for. You just have to type it.
Make sure there's no space. So it's just the @ symbol, then you'll start typing.
So
All
thanks.
right. I know we have a few questions and we'll get to them, but I just want to see, are there any specific questions on posting in your home screen before we move on? All right. So you can ask those now, and then I'm going to answer some of the questions that have come up. Business page separated from personal page. Will the business page bring traffic to the personal? I'm not sure why you would use it in that way. You kind of really want to do the opposite. On your personal page, you maybe want to say, hey, I started a new Facebook business page and it's @Rachel's Raw Honey, right? So you'd want to do the opposite. From your personal page, link your business page, because that's where you would want the traffic to go. How many buttons can a page have? So I wouldn't get too caught up with the buttons. That's just what's going to go at the top. That's not necessarily where people are looking, but you can just highlight one specific. It's really a call to action, which is a marketing term. You always want to have a call to action, even if it's in a flyer, right? The call to action could be register for this webinar or purchase our new special product, right? So you want to have a call to action. That's really what that business will be. Somebody asked, if I boost an ad on the home business screen, does it also boost in the Meta Business Suite? Yes. And we'll get into that later. What if you don't want traffic to your personal page? There will not be. So from your business page, unless you tag yourself, unless you tag your personal page, there is not going to be a client-facing connection to your personal page. So that's not something you don't have to worry about. Does that make sense? The business page is just your business. Okay, great. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. And we have completed our demo. Oh, one thing that I do want to mention is, let's say you are posting a link to your, and maybe we actually can pause the share and go back. If you are posting a link to an article or to your website, one thing that you want to do to look more professional, and I'll have Rachel share her screen again, is to put the link in that box and then delete the link once the page pops up. Facebook will grab your link, put a preview of whatever website you were trying to post, and once it does that, then you delete the link because it just looks neater and tidier. So that's just a pro tip that I forgot that I wanted to cover.
Yeah.
So see how that came up?
Has the little like image there, and then you can get rid of it and it'll still keep that media, and the whole thing is clickable. So instead of someone having to like
check out our website, like I wouldn't write nothing, I would say something, but you don't need to leave the link.
And then the whole thing is clickable.
Will we demo ads today? Yes, very briefly. All right, let me go back to, where am I sharing my screen? Okay, so now we are going to move on and talk about content. We definitely hear from our clients that figuring out what to post can also be overwhelming. So you may feel that as well, that you don't know what to share. So we talk about first what not to share. And my views on this have changed a little bit over the past few years. Generally, we are keeping our business page business. and we're not putting most of our personal views on our business page. However, if you feel that there are certain issues that are so tightly connected to your business or to what your business represents, there may be a way to carefully, non-confrontationally talk about that where it's relevant. And I'm not going to get into it too specifically. There's a lot of political things happening right now. You may or may not want to share about it. Some businesses feel like it is important that they speak out. So I would just always say be as respectful as possible when it comes to that. Now, let's talk about what to share. Here is a list. What you want to be is not a promoter of your business. What you want to be is a beacon of information in the area that your business represents, right? So you want to become an expert. If you are a raw honey shop, you want to talk about bees. You want to talk about honey benefits. You want people to come to you for information, not just to buy your product. So you can share articles and advice, tips, industry trends. That's always great. Pictures and videos, like Rachel mentioned, we want to be posting those. It doesn't always have to be of your product. Behind the scenes, people love. So happy customers, if you get permission, if your customers are posting photos, that's amazing. Always ask them and share that. Specials, that's an obvious one. New items, coupons, holiday specials, videos and Facebook Live. We won't talk too much. If you have questions about it, we can maybe cover that at the end. Be creative. And then going back to what I mentioned earlier, when you're playing around and just exploring the world of Facebook, see what similar businesses are doing. What are they doing right? What are they doing wrong? What's getting a lot of attention? If there's a ton of comments on Maggie's raw honey page, what did she post, right? Maybe Rachel wants to go and do something similar. Go ahead and look for accounts that are maybe across the country and copy what they're doing, right? Because that's not your competitor, and they may even be happy to share some tips and tricks with you. So thinking about what I mentioned, the etiquette and the engagement, you don't want to be self-promotional. People don't like that. It doesn't feel right. And you also want to be active, and this part can get a little bit intimidating, but it goes a long way. If you can go and like the photos of other businesses in your neighborhood, right? Comment on their post and say, "Oh man, that baguette looks delicious. I want to put some of my honey on it," right? That's a way that you can just be a more active participant in the social media community, and it makes you seem more authenticity, right? Now, in terms of people commenting and saying positive things and negative things, you can, depending on the volume, you may want to respond to every positive comment, say, "Hey, thanks so much for sharing. We're so glad you had a great experience." You may want to do that. You don't necessarily have to. Some businesses take that route, some businesses don't. Depends on capacity and the volume, right? Negative stuff, what are we doing? I'm going to ask this question to you. Post in the chat real quick. What do we do to a negative comment? What would you do? Get a negative comment. Maybe it's a review. Maybe it's someone posting right on your Facebook page, whatever. The public sees it. What are we doing? Anyone? I'll give you a few seconds. Find out what went wrong, how to make it right. True. What you want to do is take the conversation offline. "I'm sorry this was your experience. Let me figure out what happened. Please send an email to blah. Please reach me here." Get the conversation offline as soon as possible. Be respectful. You could also maybe say, if there's some information that's glaringly wrong, like they say, Rachel was my server and she was so rude, she spat in my face. You can maybe say, "Oh, I think you maybe have us confused with a different business. We don't have anyone named Rachel employed at our business." That you may want to do as well. But in general, take that conversation offline, okay? And then in terms of engagement, you really, at the beginning, when you're creating your page, you really need to, just as you would want other businesses and real people to like your page, they're pressing the like button, they're becoming a friend, you kind of want to do the same thing. And I would definitely start hyper-local businesses in your neighborhood groups, Temple SBDC. So you may have to do a little bit of research there, and that's something that you could work on with your consultant if it seems a little bit overwhelming. Okay, so I want to provide you with some tools to help making finding content easier. So one thing that you can all do today is set up Google Alerts. And to find Google Alerts, you can just Google Alerts and it will come up and it will be associated with your Google account. So you do have to have a Google account, I believe, but I mean, there's so many benefits for having a free Google account, you might as well. So you can create an alert, and in quotations, let's say that you are an accounting firm and you're called Philly Tax Girls. Set up an alert for Philly Tax Girls. And anytime there is a news article that mentions Philly Tax Girls, you will get a notification. And you may also want to set up keywords for other things you might want to post about. Tax legislation, tax regulations, federal, so other things, so that you don't have to always go searching anytime there. This is really just for news articles, not for like other types of things, but it can send it to you daily or weekly. You can choose how you want to receive these list of articles, and you can put in a ton, right? So it could be raw honey health benefits, right? It could be honey recipes, right? So think creatively and you will get news alerts, and that will help you when you are thinking about content. Because remember, we're sharing articles. They don't have to be our articles. We don't have to be blogging every day. It can be other people's content. It's nice to share that. Another resource that is free is called feedly.com. And what this is it's a website that can help you aggregate any websites that you like to follow. So for here, this is a screenshot of the SBDCs. We have a lot of small business publications that we follow. So it will show you their latest articles. Really, really useful. So you can put in the actual website that you're following, or you can put in some keywords too. It can do something similar to Google Alerts and pull articles based on those topics. So feedly.com, really good resource. If you have any questions about any of those right now, you can post them in the chat, in the Q&A. Someone posted a Q&A, and I'm just going to get to it because it's relevant to something we just mentioned. Can you block spammers? On Facebook, you can flag certain reviews, but not just for being negative. They have to have maybe like a hate speech or be reviewing the wrong business. So just because someone says something negative, you can't block that comment. And blocking people altogether from a Facebook page, can you do that, Rachel? From posting?
I don't believe you
I don't know if you can.
There is something you can do. So say someone is saying something egregious in a comment, you can hide the comment. So it doesn't completely remove it, but it does hide it. So the person that posted it doesn't know that it was hidden. They don't get an alert, but other people who are seeing your content won't see the comment.
All right, so I want to just be mindful of time and get through the content before questions. So we talked about how I get noticed. There are ways to get noticed on Facebook that are free, and there are some that are not free. So this will be a place where we will get into the meta and we will show you. So one thing that you may want to do is analyze when your followers are engaging with you on Facebook. So you may find that your audience is young moms and they're on Facebook during lunch and after their kids go to sleep. And that may be when you want to post, right? If they're never on Facebook at 11 a.m., don't post that, right? So that's a free way to make sure that your posts are being seen. The not free ways, obvious, right? We have ads and we have boosts. So you can either promote your page overall, which you may want to do at first when you're just starting and just getting noticed. You may want to create little ads just for your page. Or you may want to boost something in particular, like you have a new product, you're very excited about it, you put a post and you want to boost so people see see this post that you made about this particular product. When you are doing ads and boosts, you want to utilize targeting, and Rachel's going to show you how to do it. This really goes back to your business plan. So if you have written a business plan, let's dust that off and take a look at our target market section. If you do not have a business plan, please join us for Business 101 or Business 102 or our pitch class or our 6-week business planning class. Those are all places to go. We do all of those courses regularly as part of our Startup Essentials. So go back, let's get this in writing, right? Because you are not doing yourselves any favors by saying, oh, everybody likes honey. That kind of could be true, right? But you're not Nike, you're not Apple, you're not Google. Your target market can't be the world. You have to narrow it down. Okay, who's going to come to my farm stand in Fishtown and get my honey? Okay, I'm thinking it's going to be women between the ages of 21 and 39 who have a college degree, who have hobbies in cooking, right? Narrow it down. That doesn't mean that a grandpa can't come and get your honey, right? It just means that's not where you're spending your marketing dollars, right? Because you have to be focused and it will go a lot farther. And Facebook really shows you in a very handy way about what that looks like in terms of the numbers. So I think we will do a little demo now. And Trish, we will show you about where to do it.
All right, so for this section of the demo, I have moved into the Temple University Small Business Development Center's Facebook page, only because we showed you how to set that up, but we're missing some of the key things like your website and everything. So it'll just be easier to do it in a fully formed business page. So you're on your page here, and you're just gonna click on the Meta Business Suite. And this will take you in, and this is everything business. This is the back end of the Facebook business pages. And for ads, you're going to click on ads, and then you are going to go up there and create a new ad. And here you can choose, you can do automated ads. We talked about boosting, so that would be just paying a little bit to post to boost your organic content that you already have been posting. But let's try promoting your business locally. So here, let's see, I want to be in this general area and I want it to be a little smaller. So I only want in Fishtown 3-mile range. You're really targeting that Fishtown area. And you're going to run an ad that is focused on women. So you're only trying to reach women. And you only want to reach women who are between 46 and 26. So you're getting a little bit closer to that target market. And then you can go even further and do some detailed targeting by hitting browse and choosing demographics. So education, say you are only looking for college graduates. You can click on that. You're only looking for people who have a family. They're interested in having a family. And maybe you're only interested in people who are interested in physical fitness. You can click that. And you can go through all of these and really hone into a target. I wouldn't go so detailed, like you can definitely get detailed, but you don't want to go so detailed that you are going off the walls and you have tons and tons of different options, but definitely get in and get a little more detailed. And then you can also choose by behaviors. So you can look at their digital activities and their a new business, or you can choose mobile device user and you only want Apple users with Facebook access. You can really drill down if you wanted to here. But I think for you guys, the biggest thing is going to be the demographics and the interests. And once you've chosen that, you have all of your detailed targeting. And then you create an ad. You can do whatever you want. Oh, we strive to help businesses grow and succeed. It's already there. And you can choose different media options, or you can also go into select media and upload. So if you want to create a specific ad, you can go into Canva and then go and put in your actual image there and just upload it from your computer. And then you can also go down here and choose your start date. So I want to start this ad today, but I only want it to go until the 10th. Or you can choose to run it continuously. Just remember, you got a credit card connected to this. It's going to continue until you stop it. So you have to be aware, it's really up to you what you choose. But if you pick a finite time, you're not going to get charged extra after that day.
Yeah, so I would recommend that as well. And this is another place where you're going back to your business plan and you're looking at your marketing budget. Don't be arbitrary with the amounts that you put in. Whatever you're spending should relate to what you have already mapped out for your monthly marketing budget, okay? And while we have Rachel's screen shared, this, this play around with it a little bit. Maybe start with a small amount of money just so you get a hang of it. One annoying thing is that you will get billed in very annoying amounts unless you are spending, I forget what the threshold is, but it's many, many thousands of dollars. Then they finally start billing you in a nicer way. But until then, it's just going to come in drips and drabs, unfortunately, on your credit card. So just be aware of that. Hopefully you have a business credit card, you're using that, so you're separating it from your personal, which you should be for all business expenses anyway. So yeah, so this is Facebook ads and boosts. They're really done the same way. You're selecting, this is for an ad. If you wanted to boost a specific post, you'd be in the meta space as well. We just kind of wanted to give you a very brief overview. But our next section for a demo, and I'm going to keep Rachel's screen shared, is how to schedule a post. And this goes to the last agenda item, which is kind of how to, I forget how I phrased it, but thinking about being overwhelmed at the idea of having to post every day. You do not have to post every day. You can schedule your post in advance. So think about your capacity. Do you have an hour? Can you take Sunday night at 8 o'clock and have an hour where you schedule your Facebook posts for the week? And maybe you can start with 3 and you have 3 posts scheduled for the week. Can you do that? Whatever feels, we don't want this to be, we don't want this to mess you up. We don't want this to mess you up personally. We don't want this to take away from other of your business activities, but can you do an hour? Okay. So what you can do is schedule all of your posts out for the week so that you don't have to worry about it. It's not a constant concern. Should you maybe pop in every few days to see how the engagement is and to comment if people are saying stuff to that post? Probably yes. But at least you're not worried about typing it all out, setting it all up. Okay, so our last demo of today, and I know we have we're 5 to 1, is to schedule your posts.
Yes, and I will go quickly. So you're in Meta. This is how you show up. You're going to go over and you're going to hit Planner, and you can plan by the week or the month. So say you're ready to start planning. You can choose, oh, I want to post on Monday. You'll click add and you will schedule a post. And this is set up similarly to how you can schedule a post when you are on your homepage, but this way you can just do it all at once. And Facebook will recommend optimal times based on your previous engagement that you've had. So when you first start out, you probably aren't going to be getting these optimal times, and it's just going to be sort of like a test and see what works. But as you start to post more and more, Facebook will recognize, oh, this is when your content performs the best, and they'll recommend. So, oh, I should do Sunday at 7 p.m. You'll hit save, and then you can enter your text. So this is your test. You can also say you wanted to add a link here. You can do the same thing here as well. So you can add the link and then remove it, and it'll save. And it'll show you what your post is going to look like over here. So you can see the preview over here. You can add a photo if you want, the same way, just by uploading it, or add a video. And yeah, this is really an easy way. And then you will save. Unfortunately, I'm not going to save because this is our actual SBDC account, but you just save it and then it is scheduled and you're all set, and you set it and forget it.
Awesome, thank you. All right, I'm going to share my screen again so we can quickly get back into wrapping up the presentation. So that was how to schedule a post. And remember, we are recording this in case you need to go back and do this in real time with us. So we talked about scheduling, which was a response to, I don't have time to keep up, right? That is one way to do it. And there are other, besides the Facebook scheduling tool, there are other platforms that can help you schedule your posts. Most of these have free versions that for your purposes may probably work a-okay. It's sometimes when you have many accounts that they start charging. Hootsuite is one of them. Buffer is one of them. These also, and you may have noticed when Rachel was doing her demo that you could post to Instagram as well, because Instagram and Facebook, they have that tie. So you have to, you may want to do that. The more sophisticated you get, you may come to realize that the language and the art of how people talk on Facebook is not quite the same as Instagram. So if you have the capacity to cross post and that's all you have, you may do that. But the more advanced the way to, it is just a little bit better if you are not posting the exact same thing, the exact same way across platforms. But if you have to do it that way, that's all that you have capacity for, you can do that. So those are two other tools that can help you with your scheduling. If you want to hire some help for all of this, Handshake is a website to hire student workers. Upwork.com is one website that can hire freelancers around the world. Those are two of many ways to get help. At the SBDC, we always feel like it is important to pay for labor. So we do not have interns. We have student workers that we pay, unless it's a for credit thing, which is more rare for us. But we do pay our student workers, and we do recommend the same to our clients. You're going to get a better caliber. You're going to get more accountability, and probably less work for you down the line if you are paying, whether it's hourly or maybe there's a semester stipend. We do feel like it's important to pay workers. All right, so that, 1 o'clock, oh my goodness. So that is the content for today, but we know there are going to be questions. So before you leave, Rachel's going to post a survey in the chat that we would appreciate that you complete. We'll also send it out again in a follow-up email that'll come in a few days. So please, before you head out, grab that link, and then we are going to stay on for as long as you need us to answer specific questions. We have the chat going. It's a little bit more organized if you post the questions over in the Q&A, because then we can kind of check off as we get to them. So if you have questions that we didn't yet get to, they may have gotten lost in the chat. So please post them over in the Q&A. Survey is coming. We haven't posted it yet.
There we go.
All right, so survey is now in. And thank you for joining us if you have to head out. Please check out some of our upcoming webinars. We have many. We have a question about seeing who is liking your business page, like the names of the people. So maybe we can I'm not sure how that would help you, to be honest, but we could show that to you.
I don't know about names, but what I could show, let me share my screen really quickly. Is you can get an idea of who's liking and
that is not the right link. Sorry. Let me copy it again. Oh, I think you posted it to the hosts and panelists, but that's fine. I will copy and paste it.
oh, sorry about that.
Here you go. That is the survey. Ignore the first one that I sent. Although if you are a food business, you can click on that. It is an application to a really amazing food business program. Don't worry, it's nothing embarrassing what I posted. But the second link that I just posted is the survey.
Sorry about that. If you want, you can look at insights. So this is on your regular page. And this is sort of just like basic analytics about how your page is doing. So you can see followers here. You can see the total page followers. So you can see, oh, like I had a big jump here, or it's been pretty steady. And then you can see like follows and unfollows, what's happening there in different benchmarks. And then you can also check out like who's liking your page. So this is like a good way to just like see a snapshot of all of the performance of your page.
Yeah, I would say probably the two top uses for insights would be to see which posts are getting the most engagement and what times your followers are most active. Those would be like the two, I would say. I mean, it's all helpful, but if you have to pick two to look at, it would be that. All right, any more questions? Okay, I think maybe we've answered your questions for today. Thanks for the feedback. We are glad that it feels less intimidating. Thanks for joining us for this very intro session of Facebook. We invite all of you to tag us in your posts on Facebook. We love to see what our clients are doing on social media, but we do have a lot of clients, and we cannot look at everyone all the time. But if you tag us, that is an instant notification on our end that you've done it. Important to know that the other person will see it right away, and we can engage with you back. We can thank you. We could reshare it depending. So we always encourage attendees of this class and in general to tag us on Facebook and to show us that you know how now. So thanks for joining us, everyone. We appreciate your time. Hope to see you in another webinar or at a consulting session soon. Thanks, Rachel, for joining me. I enjoyed doing this presentation with you very much.
All right. Yes, so fun. Goodbye, everyone.